Hi, Amit. Thank you so much for joining our podcast today. It's really a pleasure to have you and such a prestigious company on a platform today. Before we begin our conversation, I would just like to understand and if you could tell our audience more about BNW Developments, the group company, and how the inception happened. How is the journey going so far?
Thanks, Naveen. Thank you for inviting me for this exciting podcast and making ourselves visible and making ourselves heard to many more people across the world. BNW is quite a new and a recent story. It was earlier called Bricks and Woods brokerage firm, which started in early 2021. So it's like a 3 years, 3.5 year story. But the biggest kind of inflection point and change happened when we uh, we started development, which is in April, May of this year, about 8 months ago. The chairman, Mr. Ankur Agarwal, he's the one who started the firm, and then he decided to take a leap into the development world. And his partner and co-founder, Mr. Vivek Oberoi, who's the Bollywood celebrity, he ensured that we have the proper brand building, as well as the goal to become the best private developers in the region. So it's quite new.
Wonderful. So, as I understand, as you say, you were a brokerage firm and then you transition into a construction and development company. How did that transition happen? And what do you see is currently developing in the UAE or the GCC market in terms of real estate?
So the transition is still happening. To answer your first part, transition is still happening because it's still very very new, and it's about changing the mindsets of people. So we had over 350 people, in fact, almost around 400 people in Bricks and Woods brokerage, and we ensured that most of them are retained, and we get them as our direct sales agents for BNW developments. Currently, we have about 300 total, strength. But I am the group CEO for four companies dealing into investments, into development, into entertainment, and also into holiday homes. So development is the most exciting part right now because we've just broken ground earlier this month for our first project, which is Aqua Arc. So I think that's on its way, and we should be ready by July of 2027, just a few months after the Wind Integrated Gaming Resort is operational. So overall, the second part of the question was about the Dubai market, and I think we believe that we are primarily a dominant player in the Ras Al Khaimah market. But having said that, we do have a couple of projects here in Dubai, and we would be happy to create some beautiful communities and some beautiful assets where people can love the vibes that come in there, and their day-to-day living becomes much more exciting. That's what we're trying to create here.
Wonderful. Can you give us more about the your project that is happening in Al Marjan Island? I believe that is the Ras Al Khaimah Island that you're talking about. Can you tell us more? Because I believe it is a luxury segment, and this is where the first casino in the UAE is also happening. So, can you just tell us more about it?
Yeah. So Ras Al Khaimah was quite a sleeping city till about 3 years ago, until the Win Integrated Resort was announced. We don't call it the C word, but this resort was announced, and it completely changed the landscape and changed the game there, because most of the big brands they came in, uh, and most of the big developers came in. So we started having many branded residences, as well as we started having a lot of big global hospitality chains. So we, as BNW or Bricks and Woods at that point of time, our chairman, he's such a visionary. He was able to see through the demand that this will generate across the emirate, and we put in most of our eggs in that basket. Currently, we have about 15 project sites, that we are owners of, or we have JVs in, and we are developing 9 projects in Marjan Island itself. So most of them are on island number four. We will be, and the Wind Resort is on island number three. So we will be directly, we directly be able to see the Wind Resort, the fireworks, some beautiful, amazing ecosystem being created there right now.
Wonderful. And obviously, that is the place for the world record fireworks that happen every year as well. So,
Correct.
what do you foresee for Dubai and UAE's real estate market? Earlier there were so few developers, or the audience used to hear just about a few bunch of names in the developing market. But suddenly there's so many names that are coming into the market, and so many players who are actually giving us off-plan projects. What do you see? What is the market going to look like, say in 2030 or 2035?
So I think the Dubai market, people have been expecting it to lose its steam and to just become a little bit more soften a bit and more mellow. But it hasn't happened because the sheer demand that Dubai is generating is able to generate, and it's a especially the luxury segment here in Dubai. It remains very resilient. Is giving you good stable returns of yields of 7 to 8% minimum, and this is an average growth rate, and because there is a huge demand from the global high net individuals who want tax benefits, who want a good lifestyle, who want security. Because of these guys, I think the demand generation is very high, and therefore the market's not cooling down at all. I think that in the current year, we'll still be able to see between 5 to 10% increases at least in the prices. But also from 2026 onwards, it should stabilize and start to correct a little.
Wow, that means we will expect a lot of influx of people as well, who new people coming in.
Yeah, I mean, see, 2020, in the COVID, since 2020, I was reading somewhere a data from the government authorities itself. They said that 400,000 people have moved in to Dubai since
Wow,
2020. And that's not a small number considering that in 1960, there were only 40,000 people living in the city. So I
absolutely.
think it's gone only in the last 4 years, this much influx has happened already, and which only goes to show that many of these are people who have not just come to invest; they've come to live here because the government policies, the ease of doing business, the safety, security, all of this is very beneficial to new investors who look for Dubai as a home.
Wonderful. So as even I reside here, so as from my understanding, or for audience understanding, if you see in India, there's certain projects which go under redevelopment, but in Dubai we have a lot of space which is still not underdeveloped, or it's still not developed. If you see Ema South and all these areas is still getting developed. So is it a good idea to develop a new place, or redevelop the old spaces that are there?
Well, we are actually in both spaces. I told you we have four companies here. The fifth company was the brokerage company, which in the process of liquidating now. But the four companies, one of them deals with these kind of assets, which is an investment firm, where we buy assets which are at some distressed value or which need some kind of refurbishment. Then we make them to our standards and quality, and then we sell them as an asset. So that's the investment part, which is for the ready buildings, which could could generate or which could yield greater returns. And the second one are off plans, which is where we are developing it from ground up, from just sand to some beautiful assets. So we are in
Wow.
both spaces. I think both have their own advantages, and therefore, we should be open to both and not put all our eggs in one basket.
Understood. Speaking about that itself, so what do you see? It's booming currently. Is it the luxury segment, or it is the upscale, the mid segment that is currently getting more developed, and people are getting more handovers, and off-plan projects are getting more coming up more recently?
Again, Dubai's luxury market is thriving a lot because of primarily the the kind of branded residences that are coming in, the brands that have gotten in. Uh, I think it exceeded about 85 billion in 2024 dirhams, 85 billion dirhams, which was about 20% higher than 2023. So luxury real estate market is definitely on top right now. But there's also a second, there's also a mid market where people have been offered fragmentization of spaces, small ownerships, which is for a low ticket investor. So
Mhm.
that's also coming up where you can invest as low as 10,000, 20,000 dirhams. So you become take a small chunk of the property. So that's another another positioning or class of assets which is happening in parallel. But having said that, the prime areas here, like the Palm or downtown or Emirates Hills, these kind of places have seen 20% increase last year minimum 20%, which is great, and there's good demand. The demand shown by over 72,000 millionaires that are now in the city in 2024. I think about 6,200 billionaires moved in this year, which is the second largest in the world. So there's a very affluent population, and I think it'll do well because of the margins which are higher in the luxury segment. I think that'll do better than the low to mid segment, and therefore that's where we are positioning ourselves as well.
Oh wow, but that's a huge number. So, uh, is it what percentage of rental yield one can expect at the course of 5 to 10 years? Like,
So
will the
it's
rentals
I
go
mean,
up?
you can get in many areas today. You can get double-digit rent yields, even in Resi, which is unheard of, which wasn't happening earlier. But now the rents have gone so high that the yields definitely become very very high because the rents have gone high, and prices have gone high, but primarily for individual independent townhouses or villas. Apartments have increased, but not as much as the independent houses and independent villas. So the rental income and the yields are much higher for independent villas, but also I think it is it's a minimum of 8% that you can still expect per year. And if you compound that for the next 5 years, I would say you could easily make 50%,
Wow,
minimum. So that is in Dubai. I think in Ras Al Khaimah it will be 10 to 15% more than Dubai, in my opinion.
wow, that's an amazing number. So, moving to tech, what does technology or the new age AI that is coming that everybody is using somehow some way or the other into their system, what does tech like a new age company for you play a role? How do you use it, where do you use it, and how does it help you?
So, as a company today, we've been utilizing technology to enhance the customer journey and experience at every step. So, be it when they come to buy the apartment or when they come to visit our office, we have a nice AR VR experience for them already. We can actually give it online as well if they are not based here. But if they come here, then they wear the glasses and they can easily have a good touch and feel of what they can expect as delivery when they actually get the final product. So it starts from there, and if they decide to buy, for those buyers and customers, we have an app which is actually under construction right now. And I think you should be able to finish it in the next few weeks, where the app somehow is allowing the clients to track every aspect of the project, during construction and post construction, post handover as well. So, the payment plans or payment schedules, based on what is supposed to be paid, what has already been paid, the construction status, how much been built already. Even things like if you want to give referrals for your friends and say you want to be a part of this beautiful development. So all of that during the construction process, and then after the construction is finished and after you get the handover, then all the maintenance related queries or your service charges or booking any of the amenities or events that are happening, with the new launches that we are doing. So we've been able to personalize the service requests also for every customer of ours, and we got to manage that property. So we give them proper updates and help them resolve any issues which are service related through the app. So technology has been at the forefront of our thought process and our vision, and I think we'll use it well in the construction phase as well, where we ensure that we can get as much sustainable with the help of technology by planning the right things today and integrating it with the unparalleled transparency.
Understood. Understood. Uh, when you are in the construction phase, or what does it goes towards the design philosophy? Because when I goes to I have seen your billboards across Sheikh Zayed with BNW and the design aspect. What philosophy goes into that design aspect of during the construction or pre-construction process?
So it's funny you asked this because I have joined this firm 7 months ago, and as CEO today and also as an architect by qualification, I just believe that design philosophy is key. But my owners, again, both of them, they are so adept and so hands-on that they don't leave any stone unturned. They would ensure that from the pre-concept onwards, they are all involved. We have regular workshops to ensure that pre-concept evolves very well into the schematic stage, and we're able to get a concept, then a schematic, and then finally now, then we've started working on we want to work on the design, the final design, which will come in the next couple of months. So for us, it's important that the concept revolves around what we believe in, and for me, it's more about building and nurturing wealth. That's what I say BNW stands for. Because we're nurturing wealth, but we're doing it in a very nice, sophisticated, and a very free flowing, seamless kind of a manner through our designs. Uh, we are influenced primarily in Ras Al Khaimah by the breathtaking landscapes that are in the city already existing, including the majestic Jabal Jais, the Jais Mountain, the architectural concepts that what they emulate is the organic forms of nature, and water, because these are all overlooking the sea. So it makes sense that we make the designs free flowing, which you see in our balconies, the exterior of the project, and we ensure that somehow we are seamlessly integrating, in two or more blocks in any building of ours, and we are sculpting a very nice, serene, valley-like oasis. So any building that you see of BNW, even if there's no BNW mentioned there, you'll see the inherent character there, that this looks like a BNW building, because most of our buildings, 90% are actually waterfront, and therefore we try to make them very integral to a very free flowing design right from the concept time.
Yeah, that is true, because when I looked at some of your projects, and the billboards, it looks amazing. So as you are also a new company and you guys are doing a good amount of projects in Dubai, is there any possibility that you expand towards GCC like Saudi, and do certain projects, luxury segment projects in Saudi as well in the near future, because that is also one of the growing markets in the GCC right now.
No, sure, 100%. I think the Saudi market can definitely not be ignored, and they are doing extremely well in the past few years. But having said that, I think UAE has its own distinct advantages,
Okay.
and UAE has a much uh, clearer way of doing business, much more transparent way. There's a better ease of business, compared to whenever I've gone to Saudi. It's changing very fast, and I think in the next 10 years, by the time the 2034 World Cup happens for them, I think that's a great market. It'll be dominant in the region. But having said that, currently the changes are a little slow on the ground, but they're happening, and we do have plans to go there in the next couple of years. So Saudi, we will definitely look at, but I don't think we are seeing a development in other parts of the region or globally at this point of time. It'll only be UAE and Saudi for us.
Wonderful. Got it. Got it. One last question for you, Mr. Amit. So, what would be your advice to people or investors who are potentially looking for investment across UAE? What would you suggest them? What would you guide them? Where to invest? Which project to invest? And why?
So I would definitely guide them to invest with us, number one, because I am here. You do business with people than with anybody else. So I believe that the only thing I've earned in the last 26 years is goodwill and trust from my investors, where the value is always value, and the wealth's always grown for them. But having said that, they should do their proper due diligence, homework, understand, what is the kind of price per square foot. They must understand the payment plans. They must understand track record, who's behind the company that they are going to invest in. They should go and definitely check out the site. Without seeing the site, they should not buy, and they should ensure that the organization is RERA compliant. In a way, they're not siphoning off any of their funds. The company needs to have good and fundamental good fundamentals, which are legit, and which are based on true values. So the company needs to have a good presence here. They need to be somewhere of the ethos that investors money is their own money, which is why they will take care of the investors money and they'll help it grow. So that's how we believe. That's our ethos. When you say building and nurturing wealth, that's what we do for our investors. We are primarily a company that's made from investors who believe in us, and now we need to ensure that we deliver the right product to the market, and we ensure that it's delivered on time, so that the brand keeps going higher and higher. For now, we are just made ourselves visible, so investors can look at us and our presence all over the city. They will soon be able to see BNW on Emirates from next month, also, which is our leading airline. So we have partnered with them, but we are not shying away from any of such costs or any of such partnerships, because we believe in the long run, people need to believe that we are serious players, and we are here to become, if not the best, but one of the best, and one of the largest private developers, which is what our idea is. And our investors will only grow their wealth and their memories with us.
Wonderful. That's some great advice to the investors, and I really appreciate you joining us for this podcast, even after being sick and having cold. Thank you so much.
Sorry, yeah, I've been a little sick, but one last thing I want to say is also for the investors, that they got to understand that we have a partnership, with it's a joint venture which is with the private office of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Hamad Al Maktoum. So that goes on my card here as well, which makes the card a bit heavy. But
Wonderful.
it's important that people know that we're long-term players, and we respect the government, we respect the authorities here, and we ensure that everything is done in a legit manner, with full transparency. So our goal is to make this investor basket and the broker basket, to make it as wide and as big as possible, and we are here to help you with anything that you need.
Great. Great.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Mr. Amit. Thank you, Mr. Amit. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.